From towering, teased bangs that defied gravity to sleek, high ponytails that had their own zip code, the 1980s were truly the golden age of unforgettable hairstyles. But as the years rolled on and we traded Aquanet for conditioner,
Aquanet, the world's largest selling hairspray,
some of these iconic looks faded away. So the big question is, should we dust off our crimping irons and bring these trends back, or should they stay locked in our vintage yearbooks? Buckle up as we take a rad trip down memory lane with the 1980s hairstyles we secretly wish would make a triumphant comeback. Number 10. The mullet. Business in the front, party in the back. That's the legendary mullet for you. This iconic 80s hairstyle was as much a statement as it was a haircut, blending the best of both worlds. While its origins can be traced back to ancient times, yes, even Roman chariot racers might have rocked their own version of a mullet, the modern-day mullet truly found its groove in the 1980s. Popularized by rock legends like David Bowie and Paul McCartney, the mullet symbolized rebellion, individuality, and a touch of "I do what I want" attitude. But let's give credit where it's due. The Beastie Boys officially coined the term mullet in the 90s, cementing its place in pop culture history. For those daring enough to sport it, the mullet was more than just a hairstyle. It was a lifestyle. And just when we thought the mullet had taken its final blow, it's made a surprise encore performance in recent years. Thanks to the power of nostalgia and a renewed love for all things retro, celebrities and trendsetters have brought the mullet back from the hair archives. Whether you love it or cringe at the memory, the mullet proves that some trends really do have staying power. Number 9. Crimped hair. Remember the days when your hair had more zigzags than a Pac-Man game? Crimped hair, with its signature zigzag waves, was the epitome of 80s style. A look that screamed, "I'm here, I'm bold, and I'm ready to dance." While the trend technically made its debut in the 70s, it wasn't until the 80s that crimped hair became a full-blown fashion phenomenon. And we have hairstylist Jerry Kuzenza, who invented the crimping iron for none other than Barbra Streisand, to thank for this electrifying look. Celebs like Madonna and Cyndi Lauper took crimped hair to new heights, literally and figuratively. Making it a go-to style for anyone looking to stand out. It was all about embracing that wild, free-spirited vibe that defined the decade. The crimped hair craze might have faded as we headed into the 90s, along with our neon leg warmers, but like all great trends, it's seen a revival. Modern-day icons like Beyoncé and Kim Kardashian have brought crimped hair back into the spotlight, giving it a sleek, modern twist that proves some styles really do stand the test of time. Number 8. Side ponytails. The side ponytail. A hairstyle that practically screams, "I'm ready to dance" to "girls just want to have fun" on repeat. This iconic 80s look was all about channeling that playful, youthful energy that made every day feel like a scene from a John Hughes movie. To rock a side ponytail, you'd simply gather your hair to one side of your head, secure it with a scrunchie, preferably neon, of course, and voila, you were instantly transformed into the coolest kid on the block. Side ponytails weren't just a hairstyle, they were a statement. They were as much about the accessories as the hair itself. Who could forget those oversized scrunchies, colorful ribbons, and clunky earrings that added an extra dose of flair? It was a look that dominated music videos, TV shows, and school dances alike. And let's not forget, teasing the ponytail for that extra bit of volume was practically a requirement, because in the 80s, the higher the hair, the closer to totally tubular. Whether you were channeling your inner Madonna or just trying to survive another day of high school, the side ponytail was the perfect blend of fun and carefree vibes. It's no wonder this style has remained a nostalgic favorite for anyone who lived through the era of neon spandex and leg warmers. Number 7. Jerry curls. The Jerry curl, perhaps the most iconic hairstyle from the 1980s, known for its glossy, loosely curled locks that made everyone feel like a superstar. Popularized by legends like Michael Jackson, Prince, Lionel Richie, and Rick James, this style wasn't just about hair. It was a statement, a symbol of black pride, cultural identity, and a whole lot of swagger. Invented by hairdresser Jerry Redding, the Jerry curl gave you that coveted wet look shine, as if you just stepped out of a music video. To achieve this look, you needed to apply a softener to relax the hair, followed by a chemical solution to set those luxurious curls. But the key to keeping those curls poppin'? A daily regimen of curl activators and moisturizers, because a dry Jerry curl was nobody's friend. The Jerry curl was more than just a hairstyle. It was a cultural phenomenon. It was the look that defined an era, embraced by the biggest names in music and entertainment. You couldn't turn on the radio or MTV without seeing someone rocking this iconic style, often paired with shoulder pads and leather jackets for that extra dose of cool. But let's be real, maintaining a Jerry curl was no joke. Between the cost of products and the potential damage from chemicals, it's no wonder this high-maintenance style eventually declined in the 1990s. Still, for those who wore it, the Jerry curl remains a badge of honor, a reminder of a time when the shine was real and the hair was as smooth as the tunes. Number 6. Aquanet Bangs. Aquanet Bangs, the towering monuments of 1980s fashion that defied gravity and common sense. If there's one hairstyle that screams, "I'm from the 80s," it's this one. These voluminous bangs weren't just big, they were colossal, making heads turn, quite literally, in high school hallways, malls, and pretty much anywhere a can of Aquanet was within arm's reach. Seen in every classic teen movie and TV show of the era, Aquanet bangs were as much a part of the 1980s as leg warmers and neon everything. The secret to achieving this look? A teasing comb, a lot of patience, and an industrial-strength dose of Aquanet hairspray. You teased the hair until it defied the laws of physics, and then you shell-shocked it with enough hairspray to survive a hurricane. Because in the 80s, the motto was, the bigger, the better. This was a style that signified social status, especially among the mall rats who spent their weekends cruising through the local shopping center, bangs leading the way. The higher your bangs, the closer to the social pinnacle you were. It was a time when your hair introduced you before you even said a word, and Aquanet was your trusty sidekick. But, like all good things, the reign of Aquanet bangs came to an end as the 90s ushered in a more natural, laid-back vibe. The upkeep was intense. And let's not forget about the environmental concerns of practically turning your hair into a hairspray sculpture every morning. Number 5. Punk. The punk style wasn't just a hairstyle. It was a full-blown rebellion perched right atop your head. Born out of the 80s music scene, this look was all about pushing boundaries and flipping a defiant bird at societal norms. Whether it was dramatic spikes that could double as a weapon, or mohawks so sharp they could cut glass, punk hair was the ultimate expression of "I don't care what you think." To achieve the quintessential punk look, you needed more than just a comb. You needed a tool belt stocked with industrial-strength gel, ultra-hold hairspray, and a whole lot of attitude. Creating those gravity-defying spikes or perfecting that mohawk wasn't for the faint of heart. It was a ritual that could take hours, and the results were worth every minute. And let's not forget the color. If it wasn't neon, was it even punk? Bright greens, electric blues, and fiery reds made sure you stood out in any crowd, even one filled with other rebels. This wasn't just about hair, it was a lifestyle. Bands like the Sex Pistols and the Clash were the soundtrack to this movement. Their raw energy mirrored in every spiked strand and shaved head. The punk style was often paired with leather jackets adorned with studs, band t-shirts, and jeans that looked like they'd survived a war, and maybe they had. It was a full package of defiance, a satirical shout that screamed, "I'm not here to fit in." Number 4. Wild. If you were all about the 80s music scene and wanted a hairstyle that screamed, "I'm here to party," then wild hair was your go-to look. This wasn't just a style, it was a full-on celebration of volume, texture, and color. Whether you were heading to a rock concert, a dance party, or just the mall, because the mall was a social event back then, wild hair ensured you stood out in every crowd. Achieving this look meant throwing out the rule book on neat cuts and tidy parts. Forget sleek and simple. Instead, you cranked up the volume, embraced the curls, and made your hair as big as your personality. Puffy, curly, spiky, crimped, you name it, the wilder the better. And if your hair color didn't make people do a double take, you were doing it wrong. Neon pinks, electric blues, and fiery reds added that extra layer of "look at me" that the 80s were all about. Rock and pop stars like Cyndi Lauper and Madonna didn't just sport this style, they owned it. Their larger-than-life personas was perfectly matched by their hair, which was all about freedom, creativity, and a little bit of chaos. And the accessories? Oh, the accessories. Headbands, scrunchies, colorful clips. Each one was like a cherry on top of the wild hair sundae. But as the clock ticked towards the 90s, people started dialing down the volume, literally. The shift towards more natural and low-maintenance styles, coupled with the realization that all that teasing, spraying, and coloring was basically a hair care apocalypse, led to the decline of wild hair. Still, for those who lived it, wild hair wasn't just a look. It was a statement, a glorious reminder that sometimes more is definitely more. Number 3. Curly Shag. The curly shag was the ultimate hairstyle mashup of the 1980s, a love child of the wild, carefree shag haircut of the 70s and the bold, bouncy curls that defined the 80s. This look took the best of both worlds, the choppy, feathered layers of the original shag, and infused it with a dose of 80s glam, resulting in a style that was both edgy and effortlessly glamorous. Think of it as a hair equivalent of a rock star's leather jacket, cool, rebellious, and undeniably iconic. To pull off the curly shag, you didn't just need a haircut, you needed a commitment to the art of volume. The recipe? Start with a layered cut that provided the perfect canvas. Then go to town with a curling iron or hot rollers to create those tight, bouncy curls. But you couldn't stop there. Teasing the roots was essential for that extra lift, because in the 80s, bigger was always better. And of course, no 80s hairstyle would be complete without a generous spritz or 5 of hairspray to lock those curls in place for the long haul. This style worked best on medium to long hair, giving you the versatility to tweak it for different curl types, whether you were rocking loose waves or tight spirals. The curly shag wasn't just a hairstyle, it was a statement of structure and freedom all rolled into one, making it a go-to for rock stars, fashion icons, and anyone who wanted to channel their inner Joan Jett or Debbie Harry. Number 2. Asymmetrical hairstyle. The asymmetrical hairstyle defined the 1980s with its uneven lengths and bold angles. This edgy look often featured one side cut significantly shorter than the other, creating a striking contrast. Celebrities and fashion icons popularized the style, embracing its daring and unconventional appearance. The asymmetrical cut was more than just a fashion statement. It was a way to express individuality and challenge traditional beauty standards. To achieve this look, one started with a precise cut where one side was notably shorter. A flat iron was used to straighten the hair and highlight the sharp angles, while styling products like gel or mousse helped maintain the shape and add volume. Regular trims were essential to keep the asymmetry sharp and defined. As the 1990s approached, the style declined due to its high maintenance and a shift toward more natural, uniform hairstyles. Number 1. Shaved sides. In the 80s, shaved sides became a popular hairstyle for those wanting a youthful and edgy look. This style, known for its punk vibe, often had a rebellious touch and was a strong form of self-expression. Initially favored by men, women soon adopted it as well, finding that shaving or cutting their hair symbolized a fresh start and a release from the past. To make a bold statement without bright colors, many chose to keep their haircut natural, as the edgy style itself stood out. The length was typically left longer in the back and on top, allowing individuals to style the rest of their hair in various ways. This versatility made the shaved sides look adaptable and appealing, offering numerous variations for personal expression. As you've seen, the 1980s gave us some of the most iconic hairstyles that still hold a special place in our hearts. Which of these bold looks would you love to see make a comeback? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.